Hello students, last time we have completed topic first, that is sericulture. Today also we are going to continue the same paper, zoology paper second, semester first. The course title Applied Zoology 1, topic 2, agricultural pests and their control. So last time we have completed the entire contents of the topic sericulture, and today we are going to start with the second topic, agricultural pests and their control. So this topic includes subunits, that is 2.1, an introduction to agricultural pests, including types of pests such as agricultural pest, stored grain pest, veterinary pest, and so on. Point 2.2, major insect pests of agricultural importance. This includes 8 pests that that can be categorized as a crop pest, then stored grain pest, and the veterinary pest with respect to marks of identification, life cycle, nature of damage, and control measures. So this includes 8 different type of pest such as jawar stem borer, red cotton bug, brinjal fruit borer, mango stem borer, and the blister beetle. These are the 5 different type of crop pest. Then rice weevil and pulse beetle are the stored grain pest, and last one, that is a tick, is a veterinary pest or the animal pest. Then subunit 2.3 includes the non-insect pest such as rats, crabs, snails, and the squirrels. So these are the non-insect pests attacking the variety of crops and causing their loss or the damage. Then subunit 2.4, pest control practices in brief. So this includes different type of pest control measures or the methods such as cultural control, physical control, mechanical control, chemical control, biological control, pheromone control, autocidal control, and the concept of IPM, that is integrated pest management in brief. Then subunit 2.5, plant protection appliances or the pesticide appliances. So there are different type of pesticides or the agrochemicals, toxic chemicals which are used for the destruction or the killing or control of pests, such as liquid pesticides, powder pesticides, or the fumigants. And for the application of these pesticides, we'll have to use the plant protection appliances for the application of these pesticides, either in the form of powder pesticides, liquid pesticides, and the fumigants. And this requires, for the application of the pesticides, requires these plant protection appliances such as shoulder type rotary duster used for the application of the powder pesticides or dust. Then knapsack sprayer used for liquid pesticides, application of liquid pesticides, and the cyanogas pump used for the application of the fumigants or for the purpose of fumigation of the pesticides to control the different type of pest. Then we'll introduce the topic agricultural pest and their control. So this is just a definition or the introduction regarding the agricultural pest or the definition of agricultural pest. So friends, first we'll define the agriculture. So agriculture is one of the important branch of science or biology which deals with the cultivation of crop plants and the domestication of useful animals. Invention in agriculture by human being has brought a big revolution in the ecosystem of the earth. Among all demands or the needs of the man, food is of prime importance because of ever increasing human population. And thus, man has brought green revolution into existence in the 1970s and have increased the yield of the food grains manifold with the use of high-yielding varieties of the crops in the agriculture. A number of pathogens cause diseases in crop plants and the domestic animals and cause economic loss of the farmers. Similarly, large number of insects and non-insect pests also attack on the crop plants and leads to the economic loss. Hence, it is essential to control these pests for the protection of cultivated crops. So, this is what actual agricultural importance for the mankind because with the help of agricultural practices, the human or the man can have the foods, different type of food products or goods and services that could be obtained through the agricultural practices. And thus, it is of great importance to study the different type of agricultural pests which are causing the loss of the agricultural produce. So, we'll define the agricultural pest. So, the insects which cause damage to the crop plants are called as agricultural pest. Actually, there are different type of organisms, that is insects and non-insects or the vertebrates and invertebrates, causing much of the damage and loss of the agricultural crops and thus are called as agricultural pest. Then regarding concept of pest. So regarding the definition of the pest, concept of pest. So pest can be defined as any organism, including animals or plants, whose population increased to such an extent causing economic loss to the crops or causing health hazard to the man and his domestic animals or livestock or possessions will be declared as a pest. So, any organism, may be plant or animal, whose number or the population increased in the field to an extent or a number that cause the economic loss to the crops and causing health hazards or the diseases to the man and his livestock or the possessions called as a pest. The attack of the pest to the agricultural crops cause economic loss to the farmers. The attack of the pest to the agricultural crops causing economic loss to the farmers. According to Edwards and Heath in 1964, according to Edwards and Heath in 1964, the pest is said to be an economic pest. The pest is said to be an economic pest if any pest causes at least 5% or more loss of the crops. So that is called as economic pest. So when any pest, when causing at least 5% loss or more than 5% loss of the crops is called as economic pest. The amount of damage, the amount of damage caused to a crop is called as economic damage. The amount of damage or the quantity of the particular crop damage when caused uh, is called as economic damage. And the lowest pest population density, the lowest pest population density which cause damage is called as economic injury level. And this varies from crop to crop, area to area, and season to season. So, according to, I will repeat the same things again. According to Edwards and Heath in 1964, the pest is said to be an economic pest if any pest causes at least 5% or more loss to the crops. The amount of damage caused to a crop is called as economic damage, and the lowest pest population density, the lowest pest population density which causes damage is called as economic injury level. And this economic injury level varies from crop to crop, area to area, and season to season. For calculating economic injury level includes four parameters. That is the cost of control. Second one, the market value of the crop. The yard loss attributable to a unit number of insects. And fourth, the effectiveness of the control. So these are the four different parameters which should be considered while calculating economic injury level. Stem et al. In 1959 called the density of pest population at which control measures should be started to prevent increase in pest population from reaching or increasing the economic injury level is called as economic threshold. So according to Stem et al. In 1959 called the density of pest population or the total number of pests in the field, that is a total number or the density of pest population at which control measures should be started to prevent further increase in the pest population from reaching the economic injury level is called as economic threshold. Then classification of the pest. So there are different type of pest. Insect pests are capable of feeding on almost all type of organic matter. Insects are capable of feeding on almost all type of organic matter. The insects can cause damage to the crop of plants in the field. The insects can cause damage to the crop of plants in the field. Fruit plants, stored food or even stored food grains, and even the property. The pest can cause health problems to the man and his domestic animals also. So there are different type of pests. So when we'll consider the agricultural pests, there are different categories or the group of pests which are causing the economic loss of the crops or damage of the crop plants. So the major group of the pest which is causing agricultural loss, that is insects. So insects are of most importance as far as the loss of the crop is considered. So insect pests are capable of feeding on almost all type of organic matters and causing the loss of the agricultural crops. The insects can cause damage to the crop of plants in the field, then the fruit plants and the stored food or food grains and even his property. So insects, and there are certain other group of organism like non-insect pest, including uh, vertebrate or invertebrate pest. The vertebrate pests such as rats, bandicoots, or different animals which are attacking even birds, then certain other mammals which are attacking on the variety of crops and causing their damage. Then the invertebrate pest like insect pest, then snails and sludges. So there are different type of even nematodes. There are different type of invertebrate group of the organisms and which are also attacking the variety of crops and feeding on to the different parts of the plant and causing their loss or damage. So there are we are going to study all these pests in a detail uh, uh, that is different in the form of different types of pest. So based on the host which they affect, the pests are classified as follows. So there are different type of pest organisms and which are attacking onto the different type of host or the host plants or the animals and causing damage are called as, or this can be classified into different type of pest. So among which the first one, that is agricultural pest. So there are different types of agricultural pests and which are attacking on the agricultural crops and causing their loss or damage. So just uh, to explain the different type of pest, the one important pest which is related with loss or damage of the agricultural produce or the agricultural crops in the field are agricultural pests. So first type of pest, that is agricultural pest. So each and every agricultural crop. So in the cultivation practice of agricultural crops in the or in the agriculture, variety of crops are cultivated and each and every agricultural crop can be infested by number of pests that can cause severe damage and loss of the crop products. Pests constitute a large number of insects. Pests constitute a large number of insects attacking to the various crop. The immature stages or adult insects are either foliage feeders or sapsuckers, and these insects bear chewing and sucking type of mouthparts. They may be internal feeders or borers or subterranean inhabitants. The important crops like jawar, bajra, wheat, cotton, sugarcane, etc. are attacked by pests like stem borers, shoot fly, Deccan wing grasshopper, army worms, flea beetles, aphids, leaf hoppers, mites, jawar midge fly, etc. So these are the variety of insects or variety of insect pests attacking on the different crops and causing their loss or damage. The cabbage worms, semi-loopers, potato beetles, etc. They serve as a worms and possessing chewing type of mouth parts. They chew and swallow the external parts of the plants, while some insects like blister beetle feeding on the pollen grains or petals of the bajra, etc., and thus causing severe damage. So, whatever the insect or non-insect pest which are attacking onto the variety of crops in the field and causing their loss or damage are called as agricultural pest. So, the definition of the agricultural pest is simply the pest organisms or the insect pests which are attacking onto the variety of crops and feeding on different parts of the crop of plants and causing their loss or damage are called as agricultural pests. So there are different categories of the insect pests on the basis of mode of their feeding. Means there are different type of insects which are having mandibulate or chewing type of mouth parts and feeding on to the different parts of the crop plants representing either feeders or a foliage feeders feeding onto the plant leaves. Then another category of the insect pest or agricultural pest, that is borers. So usually certain larvae like caterpillars or the grubs having mandibulate type of mouth parts or the chewing type of mouth parts, they prepares tunnels or burrows in the shoot or the stem of the crop plants and feeding on the internal tissues and thus are called as borers. Then there are certain insect pests which are having piercing and sucking type of mouth parts and they feed or suck up the plant sap or the cell sap and thus are called as sap suckers. So there are different categories of the insect pests on the basis of mode of their feeding. These may be foliage feeder, these may be stem borers, these may be sap suckers, these may be blood suckers sucking the blood like mosquitoes and different type of flies which are even ticks which are sucking the blood from the different animals. So these are the domestic animals which are also of great importance, can be grown side by side with the agricultural practices and thus the insects which are having piercing and sucking type of mouth parts which can suck up the cell sap or the plant juices from the variety of crops and uh, affecting their growth. So these may be pests may be foliage feeders or sap suckers or the stem borers or the even leaf miners, root and shoot borers. There are certain uh, insect pests which feed onto the roots or they prepare the tunnels in the roots and feeding onto the roots and causing the total loss of the plant. So there are different type of pests which are having and the insects or the pest, different stages of the pest, maybe larva or the nymph or the adult. So most of the stages of the insects or the life cycle that are attacking onto the different parts of the crop plants and causing their loss. Sugarcane is also an important cash crop cultivated widely in Maharashtra. We know the a crop that is sugarcane, a commercial crop or a trade crop, sugarcane, cotton. So there are different type of sugar commercial crops or the important cash crops cultivated in Maharashtra. And this single sugarcane is a single crop and is infested by sugarcane stem borer, shoot borer moth, root borer, pyrilla, mealybugs, scale insects, etc. In single crop like sugarcane can be infested by different type of insect pest and causing the loss of the sugarcane differently. The cutworms, leaf hoppers, potato tuber moth, Epilacna beetles, mites, aphids, and thrips causes injuries to the potato crop. So these are the different type of insects which are attacking onto the single crop, that is potato, and causing its loss, and even causing loss of the different vegetables in the field as well as in the storage. So these are the different type of insects: cutworms, leafhoppers, potato tuber moth, epilacna beetles, mites, aphids, and the thrips. So these are the group of the insect pests, which are again having hundreds of species which are attacking onto the single crop and causing its loss, like potato. Even the same pest are also attacking onto the variety of vegetable crops in the field and also onto the uh, potato and the variety of vegetables in the storage also. The cabbage leaf miner and cabbage caterpillars spoil the cabbage crop seriously. So these are the insect pests which are attacking onto the cabbage. The rhinoceros beetle, mango stem borer, brinjal fruit borer, bear fruit borer, infesting the variety of fruits in the field as well as in the storage. The thrips, aphids, flea beetles, etc. damage grapes, resulting to great economic loss if not controlled properly. The chiku moth and rhinoceros beetles cause damage to the chiku and to the coconuts. Thus, large number of pest organisms cause serious damage to the many agricultural crop plants if not controlled properly. Insects of this group enter into the plant body and cause deformation or malformation in the structure and function of different organs of the crop plants. That is, stem borers enters the stem or shoot and cause tunneling inside and leads to swelling also. The leaf roller and leaf cutter cause severe defoliation. Gall insect cause swelling. Bark feeder destroys surface of the stem. For example, bark beetle destroys the timber like teak in the forest. The termites damage the timber logs even after leaving the forest. So these are the different type of insect pest attacking or infesting variety of crops and causing their damage or loss variously. Then second type of pest, that is a stored grain pest. The storage of the food grains has been a long practice. We know the storage of food grains has been a long practice with cultivators or farmers and traders. Considerable losses both in a quality and quantity of the food grains takes place in the storage due to number of factors. Organisms like insects, mites, rodents, fungi, and bacteria are directly responsible for causing loss in a stored products. So there are different type of organisms including insects, mites, rodents, bacteria, and fungi which are directly responsible for causing loss of stored products, and it is estimated that about 7 to 10% of stored grains are lost every year due to stored grain pest in India. So, stored grain pest which are attacking onto the food grains or the cereals or even the fruits or the vegetables, whatever kept in the storehouses or stored in storages, 7 to 10% of loss of which is caused due to stored grain pest like pulse beetles, rice weevil, then floor beetle, etc. So these are the different type of beetles or the insect pest which are attacking onto the stored food grains and causing loss of the stored food grains or the products in the storages, and the loss is estimated up to 7 to 10%. The stored food grains The stored food grains, seeds, fruits, nuts, etc. are infected by the internal borer insects in the coties, godowns, and the warehouse are the most injurious of all insects. So these are the different type of food products: stored food grains, seeds, fruits and nuts, or even fruits and vegetables, which are stored in the uh, storage houses or in a food grain like uh, products can be stored in the coties, godowns or warehouses on small or large scale, are damaged by the different type of stored grain pest. The borers can attack the borers can attack them even during the harvesting stage in the farm land itself. The grain weevil, that is a stored food grain, grain weevils, the uh, stored food grains which are infested by the different type of insect pest called as stored grain pest. And these the grain weevils such as pulse beetle, rice weevil, floor beetle, then moth, red rust floor beetle, etc. cause a major damage to the stored grains or the cereals, wheat, like wheat, rice, bajra, barley, corn, oat, millets, etc. So these are the different type of food grains and which are infested by the uh, stored grain pest, like different type of weevils or the beetles or moths, and damaged uh, or destroyed in the storehouses or in the storage. Then pulse lentils, peas, beans, grams, etc. So these are the different type of food grains and the cereal grains which are infested by variety of stored grain pest and causing their loss or the damage. Mainly, the insects spoil the stored food grains and render them or making them unfit for human consumption or seed purpose. The stored grain pest can be differentiated into two types. The stored grain pest can be differentiated into two types, that is primary type and the secondary type. So, primary type of stored grain pest, this group of pests cause damage to the intact grains, whole grains, or uncrushed state, intact state or the whole grains. So primary type of stored grain pest attacking and causing damage to the intact grains or the whole grains, that is uncrushed or unbroken state. And secondary type of stored grain pest, this group of the pest feed or attack the broken or the crushed grains. Secondary type. For example, pulse beetles, rice weevil, red floor beetle, yellow mealworm, etc. So these are the different type of the uh, stored grain pest, and which are either primary type or secondary type, and infesting or attacking the stored grains, either food grains or the cereal grains, and causing their loss or damage with their feeding, or they bores into the food grains and feeding onto the internal uh, flour-like material or the carbohydrate material, that is internal fluid material, that is totally uh, fed or consumed, and causing hollowing of the food grains, and this will result into the complete spoilage of the food grains, and making them unfit for the human consumption or the even sowing purpose or seed purpose. So there are mainly the beetles or the moths which are attacking onto the stored food grains and uh, causing their damage due to their feeding, or even their developmental stages, which are releasing the exuvi or the exoskeletons while their transformation from one stage to the other stage, or one instar to next instar. There is a release of the exoskeletons or even excreta, or the their products, toxins like saliva, and this which are forming their pupae or the silken galleries, which are also released during the development of the paste in the storage or in the stored food grains, and this will lead to uh, the total spoilage or spoiling or damage of the food grains and making them unfit for human consumption. So this is about the stored grain paste and the agricultural paste. Then third category, that is veterinary paste. Veterinary pest. So these are the pests which are attacking onto the domestic animals and causing damage or loss to the domestic animals. So the insects which cause damage to the domestic animals like chicken, horses, cattle, etc., and blood-sucking insects like fleas, lice, bugs, mosquitoes, stable flies as a ectoparasite, and are the examples of domestic animal pest. So these are the different type of or different categories of the veterinary pest, which serves as ectoparasites or the blood feeders or blood sucking insects, and causing damage and may leads into the transmission of the pathogens, that is disease causing agents, from one host to other host or one animal to other animal. So the insects which cause damage to the domestic animals like chicken, then horses, cattle, even sheep, goat. There are a variety of animals which can be grown in the field or in the near houses in the form of dairy, poultry, piggery, duckery. So there are different branches of the applied zoology which can be practiced by the farmers along with the agricultural practices so as to get different products like milk, meat, eggs, which are of also great food importance or the great importance or the economic importance for the mankind, and different type of uh, animal husbandry practices which are also performed by the farmers along with the agricultural practice, and that's why it is again essential to study the veterinary pest or the animal pest which are attacking onto the different type of domestic animals and causing their loss or the damage. So the insects which are causing damage to the domestic animals like chicken, horses, even oxes, cattle, sheep, goats, etc., and blood-sucking insects like flea, like then lice, different type of lice, animal lice, bugs, animal bugs, mosquitoes, stable flies, which acts as ectoparasites and are feeding onto the blood of the animal host or the domestic animals, and these are the example of the domestic animal pest. Biting lice, that is a fly, biting lice like malophaga, causing irritation and loss of the flesh in the poultry farms. Tabanid flies, horn flies that suck the blood from the cattle and horses, and both flies, that is tabanid flies or horn flies, cause serious stomach disturbances in horses. Then grubs or larvae of the ox orbital flies cause loss of the flesh in cattle and can cause damage to the leather by cutting holes in the skin. So these are the different type of uh, insect pests such as fleas, lice, bugs, mosquitoes, and stable flies or lice. These are attacking onto the different domestic animals and causing uh, loss or leading into serious health hazards to the domestic animals. Then certain flies which serves as the blood feeders like tapeted flies, horn flies, sucking the blood from the cattle and horses. Then both, that is tapeted fly or horn flies, which are causing serious stomach disturbance in the horses. Then grubs or the larvae of ox warble flies cause loss of the flesh in the cattle and can cause damage to the leather by cutting holes in the skin. So these are different type of uh, insect pest which are attacking onto the domestic animals or the serves as acts as a veterinary pest. Then structural pest. Next of pest, that is structural pest. Structural pests are those harmful insects which cause damage to the wooden frames, doors, furniture, fencing posts, library books, stored papers, cardboards, and all other wooden articles and the components of the buildings are referred to as structural pest. So whatever the human property or the possessions or the different commodities which are present in the houses that are destroyed or damaged by the different type of insect pest called as structural pest. Called as structural pest. So structural pests are the harmful insects causing damage to the wooden frames, doors, furniture, fencing posts, library books, stored papers, cardboards, and all other wooden articles, even clothes, books, and the wooden components of the building are called as structural pests. For example, the termites, that is white ants, are the colonial and social insects feeding on the cellulose material and damage wooden material in the variable form. Silverfish, so these are also small insects, silverfishes, which are feeding on the starch material and ghee, thus damaging books or damaging book bindings, wallpapers, photographs, and all kinds of adhesive labels. Then cloth moth and the carpet beetles can also be damage the clothes, carpets, and serves as the structural pest. So these are the different type of structural pest: termites, silverfish, cloth moth, and carpet beetles, which are attacking or infesting and feeding and damaging the variety of materials in the houses and causing the loss of the human possession or the different properties called as structural pest. Then next type, that is household pest or the public health pest. So the insects which cause health problems among the human population are called as public health pest. And there are a number of ways in which insects conflict with man's comfort and pleasure. So these are the different type of insect pests which are causing health hazard or the diseases or health problems in the houses and conflicting with the human comfort and the pleasure. So the insects which cause health problems among the human population are called as public health pests. And there are number of ways in which these insects or the insect pest conflicting the man and causing harm or discomfort and the pleasure. These insect pests are annoying by their presence, bad odor, their sounds and tastes of their secretions, and by getting into the eyes, ears, and nose. So these are leading into the general annoyance of the human, or by laying their eggs on the animal bodies. We have experience of flying, buzzing of insects, particularly when we desire to rest or sleep. So there are different type of insect pests and which are attacking onto the human being and harming differently. For example, sand fly, mosquitoes like culex, Aedes, Anopheles, housefly, the louse, rat flea. So these are the number of public health pests or the household pest attacking the man and uh, causing harm to the man. And these are sandfly mosquitoes. There are different type of mosquitoes, some as culex, Aedes, Anopheles, then different type of flies, even house fly, the lice, rat flea, which are the major insect pest, which are causing the diseases or the transmission of the pathogens, causing various diseases like elephantiasis, then flu or the various type of fevers, viral fevers, then malaria, cholera, typhoid, even plague, then anemia. So there are different type of diseases can be caused due to the these blood feeding insects which are having piercing and sucking type of mouthparts and feeding onto the blood of the human and even at the same time transmitting different stages of pathogens which are causing different diseases. The diverse environment around us are very attractive to the insects, including lawns, flowers, shrubs, parks, industrial complexes, and dwellings or the houses. So these are the uh, different type of situations which are very attractive. These are the attractive to the insect pest, and ultimately these insect pest visits the human dwellings or the houses, and this is due to their attractive structures like including lawns, then flowers or the gardens, shrubs or parks, then even industrial complexes or the dwellings or the houses which are attractive to the insects, and ultimately these insect waste which comes close to the human being and uh, making the harmful activities with the man. The pests that infest dwellings are commonly referred to as household pests. So whatever these insect pests which are occurring or coming to the houses or the dwellings are called as household pests. Household insects are the direct concern to the man. Household insects are the direct concern to the man. His possession and his immediate environment. Insects such as cockroaches, crickets, then houseflies, fruit flies, ants, red ant, black ant, and silverfish, etc., which contaminate eatable food material and spoil it, or transmitting the disease-causing agents are commonly placed under this group. So there are different type of insects which are present or arriving in the houses, such as cockroaches, crickets, house flies, fruit flies, different type of ants, silverfish, and which are of different category, or the pest of different category, but conflicting with the human comfort and causing loss to the human being. Even they transmit the different disease causing agents, and these are commonly placed under this group, that is the household pest or the public health pest. The Anopheles mosquito spreads malaria among the human beings, whereas Culex and Aedes mosquito, they spread filariasis and the yellow fever respectively. Human louse pediculus carries microorganisms which cause typhus fever, relapsing fever, tinge fever. So these are the different type of ectoparasites or the insect pest or household pest which are attacking the man and causing transmission of the pathogens of the different diseases. Then the pest of forestry and nursery pest. So insect of this group enter into the plant body and cause deformation in the structure and function of different organs of the forest and nursery plants and the trees. And these are stem borers, which are enter the stem or shoot and cause tunneling inside and the swelling. So these are the different type of insect pest which are attacking onto the plants in the forest and the nursery. The leaf roller and leaf cutter cause severe defoliation. Gall insect causing swelling. Bark feeder destroy surface of the stem. For example, the bark beetle that destroy the timber in the forest. The termites damage the timber logs even after leaving the forest. The sapsuckers, such as plant bugs, aphids, thrips, which are sucking plant juices of the nursery plants and which inhibit the photosynthetic activity of the plants in the nursery or even in the forest. So there are different categories of the insect pest which are attacking onto the forest plants or the trees and even the plants which are grown in the nursery. So in, the pest of forestry and nursery, these are also uh, formed by the major group of insects. So there are many insects or the forestry pest or the nursery pest that will also form the uh, the insects. So insects again forming the major group of insects which are acting as the forestry pest or the nursery pest and which enter into the plant body and causing either deformations in the structure and function of the different organs of the forest and the nursery plants and the trees. Then different type of stem borers which are enters the stem and shoot and causing tunneling or burrowing inside and even causing swelling of the plant surface or the stem surface. The leaf roller and leaf cutter, the leaf roller and leaf cutters, these are also the either insects or their larvae, which serves as leaf roller and leaf cutter and cause severe defoliation. Then gall insects cause swelling. Then bark feeders destroy the surface of the stem, like the pest like bark beetle, destroying the timber in the forest, the termites, that is wood-eating termites, feeding on to the cellulose material of the plant tissues or the shoots and damaging the timber logs, even in the forest as well as uh, outside the forest after leaving the forest. The sapsuckers, which are having the different type of bugs, or aphids or thrips, which are having piercing and sucking type of mouth parts, and they suck up the cell sap or the plant juices from the variety of trees or the plants of the forest or the nursery, which are the sapsuckers, the category of the insects, that is sapsuckers, which acts as the forestry or nursery pest, such as plant bugs, sapsuckers, such as plant bugs, aphids, thrips, which suck up the plant juice of the nursery plants and which inhibit the photosynthetic activity of the plant and affecting the growth. So this is what about different type of pest. So we have explained about the types of pest, that is agricultural pest. Second category, that is stored grain pest. Then third one, veterinary pest. Fourth, household or the public health pest. Then forestry and nursery pest. Then these are the five different types of the pest: agricultural pest, stored grain pest, then third veterinary pest, then household pest or the public health pest, and forestry and the nursery pest. So these are the different type of pest which are of great importance for the mankind. So with this we'll stop here and continue with the next point, that is study of different crop pest next time. Thank you.